Hi guys, this is Tracy with the Felted Desert, and today I'm here to talk to you about the two most common mistakes that new felters make when felting their animals and they end up looking like a donkey. I hear this all the time. Help! I've been working on my dog or I've been working on a fox and he's finished, but he looks like a donkey. What did I do wrong? Well, today I'm here to talk to you about the two most common mistakes that I found that people make when felting their animal and it comes out looking like a donkey. So the first mistake is normally with the ears. So we'll go over the different shapes of the ears. Commonly what I find is, let's say you're working on a little dog here and the ears are facing up. And what happens is they'll felt the long oval shaped ears and they've attached them to the top. And the ears are normally too long and they're not the right shape. And they felted it right to the top of the head like this. And if you're doing a dog whose ears go upwards, one, they're not going to be oval. They're not going to be skinny at the bottom where they're attached to the head. If you're doing a dog whose ears point upwards, or a fox, they're going to be pointed at the top. They're going to be wider at the bottom, more like a triangle shape, as opposed to an oval shape like this. And you're going to attach it here at the back. You're going to start with the rounded area. You're going to kind of round the ear like this once you've made your triangle shape. Pinch it in. And then you're going to attach it at the back like this. And you're going to figure out how tall you want those ears. Does your dog have big ears? Does it have small ears? You're going to attach it back here like this onto the back of the head. And then you're going to felt the other fur back over the back of this so that it covers it once you have both the ears on. And then, as you can see, I'll just do it real quick for you here. You want that little curvature in because that is how naturally the ear would go to the back of the head right there. And you can even felt it in a little bit here on the side. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I'm using this little dog. He doesn't actually have hair on him yet. This will just give you a little idea. So once you got this all felted on, you would actually cover this with more wool. And then you can shape the ears, but obviously he would have two little ears here. But instead of this long donkey-shaped ear, you now have a little short pointed ear, whether it's a fox or a dog. I'll cover this one because he's going to be a hound dog, so obviously he has long ears that go down. So if your dog were to have pointed top ears, this is more the shape that you're going to want, is the pointed triangle ear, which is what you would start with, which is going to be shaped more like a triangle. Obviously, this shape would be fine if you had a dog who had long ears like this guy, because you would put it on this direction and it would shape down. This one is a hound dog, so he has really long ears that flow downwards, and they're elongated towards the front and shorter at the back, as you can see. So that's the first common mistake that people make. And the second one is with the paw, with the foot. So I'm going to use this fake foot that I've made because I want it to be bigger so you can see. So most people will take the foot and they've made this nice big long paw or foot, and at the end they'll have just a pointed area and it looks like a hoof. And what you want to do is you need to separate this little paw. This looks fine, but it looks like a donkey hoof. And what you need to do is separate this out. And this is real easy to do. You need to take a little bit of wool. I'm going to do it in a contrasting color so you can see. You're going to pull a real thin strip. Actually, it's a little too thick still. We want to do real thin. You want to roll it. And what's even better than this is getting a small water bottle, a little spray with a little tiny mister, and you put water and 1 drop, of dishwashing liquid. You don't want any more than 1. You just need 1. You're going to spray it in your hand. You're going to put your wool there, and then you're going to use the side of your hand here to roll it real, real thin. This is kind of like wet felting, but it's going to give you real, real thin piece, and it makes it kind of strong. All right. See how thin that got? Then you're going to figure out, we're going to separate this into 3. It's not going to be super realistic, but it's going to make it look less like a hoof and more like a paw. So you're going to figure out where you want your 2 lines. You're going to attach it and hold it with your thumb back here and lay it down. And then hold it with your finger back here, and you're going to pull it tight because you want it to make that indent right there. And then you're going to start felting down. Because we're using this to make that line. And I'll show you what happens as we go. And we're going to do this twice. And this is just an easy way to make a little paw, a fake paw. All right, and then when you're done, obviously you have a nice long line here, so you can just cut it off, the extra. And you want to felt it nice and deep so it makes that ridge there. And then we're going to do it again. Spray, put it there. I'm going to use the side of my hand because it fits good in the palm. Finish up with my fingers. If you need more water, you can spray it again, but don't get too much water. You don't want it drenched. And I'm going to put it on this side. Make my other toe here. You could do 4 if you want. You could do another one right down the middle. And I might do that. I'll show you what it looks like. Depends on how big your feet are on your dog. If you're doing a teeny tiny dog, you may not have room to do 3. I'm doing a big giant paw here so you can see what I'm doing. We just keep felting until we get our little delineation of toes here, or pads, whatever you want to call them, for the paw. Okay, and we'll do one more. In the middle. But you can already see it's looking less like a hoof. And I will tell you, as a new felter, people try to go make something small, like a really small animal, because they're like, oh, it'll be easier because it's small. The smaller it is, the harder it is to make it, because you're just working with teeny tiny things. So as a new felter, you're better off trying to make something a little larger. Here we go. The 3, if you can do the 3, it's so much better. It really makes it look more like a paw. Once you do that 3rd one, you can really tell now And it looks more like a paw. And this is just a simple way to do it. I mean, obviously we're not doing a realistic paw. I mean, we're not doing a realistic paw like this guy here, where his toes have been done individually and then attached into a foot. But this gives you a little idea of how to do it if you're just starting out. And then you can work up to the ones where you're doing them individually. There you go, look at that. That looks so much better, doesn't it? No more hoof. You got your little paw and your little toes there. And it looks so much better, like a little paw. So those are the two most common issues that I have found where it looks like a donkey, is the elongated, long, tall ears and the wrong shape as opposed to the triangle shape. And then the hoof versus the paw look. The other issues that you might want to look out for are too skinny of a body, or your body is just one long tube going along, because you do have a chest area or a belly area, and then it goes back up into a thinner area here, and also the legs. The legs are going to be thicker up at the top where they've got a hip and then thighs. And so one of the things that I would suggest as a new person is really going online and getting pictures of the animals that you're trying to do. And also look at Googling the anatomy pictures of the animal that you're going to do. I always pull pictures no matter what animal I'm doing. I've been doing this, a long time. So, but I still pull pictures because I don't have in my head the actual anatomy of every animal that I'm going to work on. So I always pull lots of pictures of the animal that I'm going to do, and I take, screenshot pictures, and I also do the anatomy of it. Right now I'm working on this rabbit, and I probably got 30 pictures plus the anatomy of the rabbit. That way I can reference them and go back and look at them each time as I'm doing them. And that really does help. All right, so that's it for today. I hope this helps. If you have any other questions, just let me know. Thanks a lot.